Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something that affects every single one of us, our health. But more than that, we're asking a pretty fundamental question. Who's really in charge of it? Because there's this constant battle for control happening, from the highest levels of government right down to the palm of your hand.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? When you get sick, who's truly calling the shots? Is it your doctor? The government? Maybe some big global health agency? Well, the answer, it's a lot messier and, frankly, a lot more fascinating than you probably think.
Because what's really happening is this massive, high-stakes tug-of-war. You've got these giant, established healthcare systems on one side and these powerful global organizations on the other. But now, a brand new player has just jumped right into the middle of the game, and that player is you.
So let's start at the very top. Let's talk about the big national health systems and how they're structured. For decades, there's been this really powerful idea gaining steam. Bring healthcare decision-making closer to home.
That idea has a name, decentralization. And it's pretty simple, really. It just means shifting power and responsibility away from one central government and handing it over to local regions or communities. The whole point is to make decisions closer to the people they actually affect.
Now, in theory, this sounds amazing, right? Local control means the system understands local needs better. It could lead to all sorts of innovation. But, and this is a big but, there's a flip side. You run the risk of creating huge inequalities between different regions. Some places might get amazing care, while others get left behind. It's a really tough trade-off.
And this just shows you how complicated it gets in the real world. There is absolutely no one-size-fits-all way to do this. I mean, look at Italy, Sweden, and Spain. At the top, they're pretty similar. One central government, about 20 regional authorities. But then you get down to the local level, and it's just chaos. The numbers are wildly different. It's proof that every country is trying to figure out its own unique balancing act.
So what's the bottom line here? It's that decentralization is not some magic fix. It's not a final answer. It's a constant process, this never-ending negotiation over where the power should lie.
Okay, so let's zoom out from the national level, way out, to the global stage. Because this is where we run into the World Health Organization, the WHO, and a whole different kind of power struggle.
You know, the WHO was founded with this incredibly ambitious and noble mission to be the one single authority guiding the entire planet on health issues, all in the name of making sure everyone, everywhere, has a shot at a healthy life.
But here's the paradox. This is where it gets tricky. Only about 17% of the WHO's budget comes from guaranteed fees from its member countries. A whopping 83% comes from voluntary donations. And you know what comes with voluntary donations? Strings. This makes the WHO incredibly dependent on the goodwill of the very same countries and donors it's supposed to be impartially guiding.
You can see the problem, right? This creates this built-in structural tension. The WHO is constantly caught between a rock and a hard place, recommending what the science says is the best thing to do for public health versus what's politically possible or acceptable to its biggest funders.
Okay, so while all these massive institutions are locked in their power struggles, something else has been happening. A completely new force is emerging from the ground up, and that force is you.
For most of history, the doctor-patient relationship was incredibly simple because, well, the options were limited. The doctor held all the power. But then, bam, the antibiotic revolution happens in the mid-20th century and changes everything. And now, we're in the middle of a second, even bigger revolution, the digital health revolution. The whole game is changing again.
And this is where it gets really exciting. While all those big top-down systems are kind of stuck, debating, and moving slowly, this new power is just surging from the bottom up. And it's happening right there, in the device that's probably in your pocket right now.
I mean, just look at AI tools like this one, Dr. Maya. This isn't just about Googling your symptoms anymore. This is different. It's designed to give you understanding. It explains things in simple terms. It tells you how confident it is in its own advice. It even offers up alternative ideas for what might be going on. And crucially, it's honest about what it doesn't know. That's a game changer.
And that's really the whole point. As Dr. Srivetsa says here, this isn't about replacing doctors. Of course not. It's about creating a true partnership. It's about making you an informed, active participant in your own care, so you can make choices with your doctor, not just receive orders from them.
So where does all this leave us? We've got these huge, powerful, top-down systems on one side, and now we've got this energetic, tech-driven, bottom-up movement on the other. What happens when they meet?
Well, it means we're in a brand new tug of war. Healthcare is no longer just a one-way street where instructions flow from the top down. It's becoming a dynamic negotiation, a conversation between the old institutions we've relied on for a century and the newly empowered individual.
And that's the big takeaway here. The old lines of control are blurring. The future isn't set in stone. It's going to be hammered out in this new space between the systems we've built and the incredible tools we now hold in our own hands.
So, that leaves us with one final and pretty crucial question. It's a question for you, for all of us really. As technology gives you more and more control over your own health, who are you going to trust to help you lead the way?